Welcome everybody to another episode of the Popcorn Watchlist podcast, where we discuss and celebrate our favorites in TV and film. I'm your host Xavier, and today I am joined by my fellow Watchlist panelists Anthony, Danny, and Zach to talk about Guy Ritchie's latest theatrical release, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. This movie has a pretty stacked, like low-key stacked cast, if you kind of think about it. I'll let Danny kind of go through the list of it. Take it away, Danny.
Yeah. Well, we got Henry Cavill to start us off.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah. We got Alan Ritchson.
That's my guy.
Jack
right now.
as Reacher.
Dude, he's like just as big in this movie as he is in the show. But like arguably more badass because like just all the physical feats he does is pretty out of hand.
So is he going to be Batman?
That's the room. He says he's down for it, but who knows?
I'm thinking more Green Arrow.
Well, after this movie, Danny has the vote for Green Arrow. He'd be
he's so big,
the largest Green Arrow.
I mean, he has the blonde hair, blue eyes.
The blonde hair, yeah.
He's so large,
but he is pretty big. He would have to slim down.
Yeah, I feel like Green Arrow has to be more
like
agile.
Yeah,
but I mean, so does Batman. So.
Well,
but I think Batman can get away with being like
a bigger build,
like brooding, big and brooding, scarier to people.
And you notice Bruce Wayne really tall? That Batman's supposed to be huge. But anyway,
why is Bruce Wayne so muscular now?
Right? Hey, he came back. Whatever. All right. So there's still more.
Yeah. No.
Those are the big names that we still got.
We got Isa Gonzalez.
Yeah, she's been in a whole bunch of stuff recently.
She was in your guys' favorite, Amberlands.
She was in Amberlands.
Yes,
that's right, by the great Michael Bay. So many drone shots. All right, no, I'm moving on. I'm not gonna talk about that.
She was in Baby Driver. I'd rather talk about Baby Driver.
She was also in Baby Driver.
You got Henry Golding.
Henry Golding, yeah, man,
returning.
Which he was
in The Gentleman.
Yeah, he was in Crazy Rich Asians, and he was Snake Eyes.
Yes, he was Snake Eyes in that movie. Snake Eyes.
Okay, I was wondering why he looked vaguely familiar.
Look, the best part of Snake Eyes was Andrew Koji as Storm Shadow. Like that's all I gotta say. Anyway, we're moving on.
I think he's on a new level because that's all I remember of that movie. The stupid trailer.
The trailer. Yeah, I didn't like that either. But all right, keep going.
We got Alex. I don't know how to say his last name.
Pettyfer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I am number 4.
Which he was in Time.
And also, like Anthony said, I am number 4.
I am number 4. I never saw it.
Anthony did. There's a reason why.
I'm not the only one that watched it.
I know a couple others. I'm like,
it was a kind of popular movie when it came out.
You got Magic Mike, too.
Yes.
If you saw that.
Yep.
And...
Cary Elwes. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he was in... He was in, what do you call it? The Operation Fortune of Guy Ritchie that came out last year.
Oh, really? With Jason Statham?
Yeah, he was in that too. So he's bringing back some of his...
Dude, another bow and arrow reference. That's Robin Hood from Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Mm-hmm. He was in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning.
Yes, he was.
And Adventures of Tintin.
And the one thing you did not mention, because none of you kids...
They're not going to...
Princess Bride? The Princess Bride.
Or Saw. You guys haven't seen Saw?
Saw, yeah.
He's one of the guys in the bathroom in Saw.
Thank you, Zach.
Also, recently, he was in Blackberry, which was a pretty good movie.
Oh, yeah.
I need to watch that. It's streaming, isn't it?
Dracula, yeah.
Liar, Liar.
Yes, you're scared of the plot, dude.
You mentioned it already, Men in Tights.
Yep. Keep going on. Hero finds Tiffin. He's actually related to Ray Fiennes, or as
Fiennes.
Yeah, as Anthony likes to always say, Ralph Fiennes.
I know it's Fiennes.
Yeah,
some people don't.
But he's been cool. He was actually like one of the European guys in The Woman King, which I got to watch. That's pretty cool.
He was also in Harry Potter.
Yeah, he
was part 2, right? Second movie. Tom Riddle.
When's it got?
Yeah, he was Tom Riddle.
No, he was in Half-Blood Prince.
He was. So yeah, I'm right. Tom Riddle.
Yeah.
No. He was. He was.
He was Tom Riddle, 11 years old.
Okay, so I called it. So he's still Tom Riddle. Okay, so he's not part 2, but part 6. Okay.
What about Jamis from Dune?
Oh man, Babs Alusamakun. He's been in a lot of things recently besides Dune. He was
also in Guy Ritchie's Wrath of Man.
Yep.
Oh,
that's right.
Cool.
He's also in Strange New Worlds, Star Trek, which is a really good show. That's also on Paramount.
Every time I saw him in this movie, I was like, X next to me was like, "May thy knife chip and shatter."
Yeah, every time. But no, man, he played his role really well.
Who was Churchill?
Rory Kinnear, who's
good makeup.
No, I could tell it's him.
I didn't know it was him.
I was like, that's immediately Rory Kinnear. Like, it was weird seeing him in that makeup, but he plays Bill Tanner in a whole bunch of the various Bond movies that came out, even from some of the movies with Pierce Brosnan. But he was also in, like, recently, like, he's been in a lot of really good stuff lately. Like, he's been in Men.
Imitation Game.
He was in Our Flags Mean Death. Like, Imitation Game. Yes, really good point. There's a lot. I mean, like, he's like one of those guys. Like, man, I need someone to like be like whatever you put him in, he's gonna be really good at it. So like, really cool that they got him of all people to play Churchill. We have Til Schweiger as Heinrich Löhr, like the big villain of the movie, which is interesting because I know him as famous Nazi killer Hugo Stiglitz, with one of the best introductions in cinematic history from Inglourious Bastards. Also, I want to round this out really quickly. Danny Sapani, who plays Kambili Kalu, the kind of pirate guy that's on Fernando Poe in the movie.
The Prince.
Yeah, they call him the Prince of Fernando Poe. He has been in a couple things. Most people you'll see him as like the Border Tribe elder for the Black Panther movies, but apparently he's also in the Halo show, which apparently people don't say bad things about him. He's pretty good. But more importantly, like he's really fun in this movie. Lastly,
Freddie Fox.
I was going to mention Freddie
Fleming.
Fox. Yes, he plays Ian Fleming, the man who ends up writing the Bond movies. Which, fun fact, the legend is that Ian Fleming got inspiration to make James Bond based off of Henry Cavill's character, played by the real Gus March Phillips. I thought that was really like a fun little way to do it, which is funny because people always wanted Henry Cavill to play Bond anyway, which he kind of did in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., but whatever, which is also a Guy Ritchie movie. I just made so many. Insert the Charlie Day like all the connection meme thing. It's too cool. So basically, let's give a quick rundown of the movie. It's a retelling of Operation Postmaster, which was, I believe, in 1942. 1940.
Yeah, because it was during the bombing.
Yeah, during the bombing.
Which was 40,
Battle of Britain. Yeah, before the U.S. got into the war. Yeah, and before the Lend-Lease program and all that stuff started happening. It's based off of also a book. So Churchill's Secret Warriors, explosive true story of Special Forces desperados of World War II. I know like the real life story isn't as bombastic as the movie, but that would make for a less entertaining movie. But what we did get was a Guy Ritchie spin with a lot of fun quips, fun action, and witty banter between multiple characters with multiple plot points. Also, basically interweaving into one overarching mission. With all that going on, what did you gentlemen think about the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare?
Well, as soon as it started, when I heard Alan Ritchson start off with this Swedish accent in the first couple scenes of the movie, I was like, all right, this movie's going to be great. Yeah,
the movie kind of starts off this whole like immediate rest. It's Henry Cavill and Henry Cavill's character, Gus March Phillips, and Anders Lassen, played by Alan Ritchson, just on a boat, and they have a Swedish flag up, like, we are just Swedes, just trying to do some fishing up on the coast, and it's just so like hilarious, but like you can tell those guys are just itching to kill some Nazis, but they have to buy time, and it's cool. It's a good that whole scene is a cool showcase of each character's like kind of strengths and weaknesses, or not weaknesses, just strengths.
They have no weaknesses.
Yeah, these people are all practically superhuman. Especially like Anders is out of hand. Like that character Yeah, it's ridiculous.
With that shirt all like with holes. Like it
Was it
looked.
holes or was it blood? I thought
it was blood at first, but I think it was like
holes
cut.
from him just outstretching it from being. So
I thought it was
damn
blood
big.
too.
It's probably blood.
Because like it was like that in the
But-
beginning of the movie, and I thought, like, are these soldiers not gonna like ask him
Notice?
what the blood
Yeah.
is on his shirt? And like, I don't know.
Well, because I thought it ended up being blood from when they started shooting them.
But it was there before.
No, it was there.
it was
because
there
before
I didn't
that.
even notice it before.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was there before.
That's why I thought they were gonna say something. Like as soon as they saw him, because he already had it before he started. Like
Exactly. Yeah, and like it's cool because they talk about how like there's like a mission within a mission. So like the first part of the mission that you end up like it's a whole introduction, and like you basically go into the whole recruitment of Gus Marsh Phillips, and they're like, oh well, I need Jeff Appleyard. Like first, like okay, you gotta go break him out of some prison or some detention center that he's in, and then you then go into the mission. And it's like it's a two-part because then the other part is like you have Isa Gonzalez and Babs Olusamokin's characters doing the spy infiltration bit, especially since the guy's like, yeah, I can, finesse everything going on this island.
while they're waiting for the other group to get there, traveling by sea.
Yep. The whole idea is like, yeah, we got to blow up. The whole idea is that we have to blow up these boats that are used to fuel German U-boats, which have been messing up ways to restock and resupply Great Britain during the time that the Nazis were bombing them in the air. So all this kind of comes to a head. And at the same time, the whole drama is that Churchill's trying to get this done to get a win and to buy some time because the rest of the military are like, hey, Churchill, like you got you're leading us into nothing. Like we need to either sue for peace or surrender or whatever the case because we can't handle this anymore. And Churchill, like the stubborn bulldog he was known to be, is like, no, man, we're gonna hold this out. And this mission was key to that. So what was very key was getting these very ungentlemanly gentlemen to do the mission because Guy Ritchie basically makes this like really like it's like a
Assemble the
spy.
Avengers. A spy
Yeah,
Avengers.
basically, it's like a World War II spy action with a little bit of dark humor like thrown in the middle mix of it. Really good stuff overall. But like we talked about that boat scene, which is really great, and like March Phillips and Andrews just like annihilate these guys. Henry Hayes, the Irish dude, like just is like in a compartment and just lights this other guy up, and they're just all they the whole point is like, yeah, but there's a whole boat going on. Like, oh, and here's Freddie Alvarez coming back, and he just
He just like swam over there.
he
and
just
put
swam over there,
bombs
put
on the
bombs
boat.
on it, came back, and he's like, yeah, we're good. He's like, are you sure, buddy? Yeah, and an explosion.
Cool explosion too.
Yeah.
Pretty good explosion effects in this movie.
With the little shockwave, and you see a little shockwave from the water too. Like it looked good. Yeah, a lot of stuff blew up in this movie. A lot of Nazis
you
got
have
shot.
one guy that's just loves to blow things up.
That's right. That is Freddie Alvarez. Yeah,
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, he's kind of a sociopath. And like, no, I forgot that condition was like, yeah, like he's an arsonist. Yeah, he's a convicted arsonist. Yeah,
Didn't they call him the frog or something?
yeah, because he could swim all the time too. Yeah,
Well, then-
he's their frogman.
Then when it led into that second like major sequence when they're trying to get their friend out from being held hostage or captive or whatever, that whole sequence was pretty cool where you see Alan Richardson come in with bow and arrow. You see
He's an expert hunter. And it's just what was wild too about it is that like one guy that he shot, like it went through one guy
him and
then
out.
hit someone else. And it's just like, where's the? And I forgot who said it. He's like, dude, where's the arrow? It's just like it's so strong. It's basically a bullet. And then that whole sequence was just like.
And
them just
he threw the
plowing
grenade
through the
into
place.
the little slit of the like the little opening.
And at the same
It's like a
time,
control
or
room.
the one guy that's like looking outside.
they're like in a
window.
briefing.
Yeah.
And then Freddie Alvarez is on the gun. He's just like getting ready. They're like, did you guys see that? Like, hey, look
Shut
over
up.
here. He's like, but there's totally that guy back there. That's some of like that little like a bit of the humor that Guy Ritchie will throw into some of the like in those situations. It's like, oh man, like it sucks for that guy.
Like it shouldn't be funny, but like
It's also killing Nazis.
Yeah.
So it kind of is, but no, it's like the whole point of just the irony. Like, hey, that one guy sees it coming, but they're too
stubborn
and their heads up their own
strict,
butts.
Yeah.
Like that part where they're telling the joke, it's just like this, like mine. He's just like, oh, it's mine. He says like he's like, that's my wife, and then he just comes like, ha ha ha. They look at him like, what? And then it's just.
By the way, we are talking spoilers.
Minor stuff, yeah, just minor stuff.
Yeah.
A spoiler. Anyway, the whole point, Gus March is just like his whole introduction was great. By the way, like Henry Cavill, just like you can tell he's just having fun in this movie. But like one of my favorite parts too is the whole introduction and the briefing of the mission by M and Ian Fleming. The whole idea is it's like, yeah, this is the mission, but he's in that room, like they uncuff him and he starts like grabbing a whole bunch of cigars. And he's like, oh, I want a coat. And he's like, let me get one of them coats. He gets out the whole thing. He gets out all like cool, whatever. And the two guards are there. He starts lighting the cigar. One of the guards like, you want the cigar? And the guy's like, sure. And then he just gives him the psych and walks away.
Yeah, his demeanor in that whole scene was funny. It was just like, as they were briefing him about what mission they want him to do, he's just like barely paying attention, making all the noise with the chair, and then like taking, I don't know, he took like 5 cigars. He like smelled one of them, made a face. He was like, ooh. And he kept stuffing them in his coat, yeah.
And the guy...
He poured like expensive whiskey.
Yeah, I don't know who it was, the general, the officer was like, help yourself with some tea.
Yeah, and
he goes
got
to the tea and he looks at the scotch and he's like, grabs it.
Yeah, he's like, I'd rather this. Yeah. Thank you very much. There's a lot of cool, like, the whole like introductions of who these people are. So basically, it's like I think it's an action heist movie set in World War II. Mm-hmm. One of my other favorite parts was talking about Marjorie Stewart and like how her qualifications, how she's an actress but being embedded as a spy. I loved when Heron brings her in to meet Cavill, and they're trying to look at the guns that he's trying to shoot, and he's just like not really hitting the target. And basically, her whole point of the movie has been to kind of like win people over and have her infiltrate and achieve the mission. So they're trying to recruit Cavill and his pirate guys, and she just grabs all their guns and just starts like, "Oh, I'm pretty good at this." Like, are you sure? And she just starts nailing everything. The double,
all the guns,
the double pistol, the rifle, the machine gun. And I love at the one point toward the end, she's like, let me grab the grenade. They're like, whoa, stop! And she's just looking like, what? It was perfect. That was that was a lot of fun. Like, and it's cool that she had depth. Like, she had the...
Yeah, they had already said in an earlier scene that she had been with them, like, working with them for like 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So she had already all this, like, training and just waiting to, I guess, get on the field to do, like, a really big mission.
Yep.
It was fun.
And Heron was practically like her handler, and just like, hey, it's what we got to do, and all the Morse code stuff. I like the Morse code interactions between home base in Britain, the boat that March Phillips and his team are coming through, and Heron trying to just organize and keep everything going. It was really fun. It was at first a little subtle as it turns out, like how like impactfully and like how bad guy like Heinrich Lohr is going to be, but once you saw that person strung up, you're like, yeah, this guy's got an issue, and he's like walking away from it all like ha ha ha, ha laughing and whatever. It's like, yeah, this is the guy who can turn it off and on at will, and that's scary. But those scenes with him and Isaac Gonzalez were appropriately tense. Yeah, I think that was a good way to kind of balance like the stakes of the movie as well as then like all the ridiculous over the top action parts too.
Mm-hmm.
I know Dan, you went to Zach. What about you? What were some fun spots for you?
Ooh, I want to say like more towards like the end. We get the actual
mission.
It's
like the last like 20 or 30 minutes of the movie.
Set everything in motion, planning like the bomb in the power plant, and then the planning bombs on the boat that they wanted to blow up, but then the boat is like plated with more whatever steel.
What have you done to my duquesa? That one Italian guy, because remember, like Fernando Po is supposed to be this like neutral territory because the Spanish are not in the war, even though they're run by a fascist regime that is supportive of other fascists like Italy and Germany, which is why the Germans and Italians have stuff there. And that was again appropriately tense, but still having those guys like the Spanish captain and the the Italian guy there. Like that was a point of like, oh snap, this guy's smart. Like he's, planning ahead. More and more of like, damn, like this guy is, low key, pretty brilliant. So that's like perfect foil to the major plan.
Yeah, and they had to rework the plan, and they didn't really improvise because they thought of the plan like right on the spot, but they were able to change the plan up and instead of blowing up the boat, steal the boat.
Yeah, that was all Appleyard, played by Alex Pettyfer. Like he's like the brains of the operation, which is why March Phillips like, I can't do this without him, and hence they went and just annihilated an entire German garrison for him. It was, like I thought that whole scene was cool, especially with Heron having set up 2 separate parties. We're gonna have most of the troops out there, and then it paved the way for March Phillips and Hayes, and even Anders just to roll up with like silencers and just like annihilate everybody, like literally everybody except that little kid. That little kid,
he let him go.
Jump.
He's like, all right, come on.
Just like jump.
Go.
And the whole point is he's still wearing this Nazi SS coat that he stole from a dead guy because he's like, I need to get me one of those coats. Like he's just unironically wearing it
and
with the hat too. It was like it's like half a disguise anyway because it's just like, oh look, it's a person, and they're like saluting him. He's like, yeah, salute, turn around. And it's just like, wow.
He even laughed. He's like after like they saluted, he started laughing and he told. Was it Hayes to shoot them? And then he was like,
yeah,
like,
he's just like,
he had no problem with doing
that. He's just like, take him out, like, because they just got wrecked by protocol. Like, just, nope.
I wonder if the real Phillips wore anything like that during that mission.
I mean, it probably would have made it easier.
To sneak in,
maybe, but it would have made it easier.
I will tell you from like the real life studying of that operation, it didn't really have as many explosions or dead Nazis.
I would think so.
Yeah, you would think so, right?
Yeah, because it was like 15 minutes of them just plowing down Nazis to get to the boats.
Yeah, these guys, they were just literal cannon fodder at one point. Even when, as part of the escape, they're getting shelled and mortared by the pirate dudes.
Yeah.
And like loves how they sabotage that one cannon. And he's like, wait, don't do it. Don't do it. And now. And then it was like the rock in the cannon for Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade. But we have to also talk about probably my favorite part in the entire movie was Anders just going through the one side of the Duquesa and just annihilating everybody.
And then getting the axe at one point.
Yeah, and just going to town. Okay, Anthony.
He ran out of arrows. He's like, oh, I see an axe.
Did you see the one guy that he fell downstairs as part of it? He died 4 times.
He did like a Legolas.
He quadruple died.
He like knifed that guy, and then I think he fell down the stairs and then shot the arrow at him. And then when he went down the stairs,
did he like grab the arrow?
He grabbed the arrow, and stabbed the arrow to another guy. Took it out, shot it at another, and then I think he re-stabbed the guy on the floor. So I think it was like a 3 or 4 hit kill.
No, like it was a quadruple death.
That was
like
funny.
He got it was stab, shot, went down the stairs, broke his neck, and then got stabbed again. And then like at the same point, I think it was Appleyard that was on the other side, right?
Yeah, they were waiting for it to clear, and they just see him on the other side,
going nuts with the axe,
mowing
and then he's
people.
like, "Hello!" Like it's so like. Yay! And it was great because since he's using a bow and arrow, like it's silent, so like I don't need a silencer gun. My whole thing is silent,
but deadly,
literally deadly, dude. Like okay, again, the guy is so strong. The arrow went clean through a man. That's not supposed to happen. It's just a normal bodkin arrow. Like that was nuts, man. You can tell Alan Rich has had a lot of fun. I remember he was even seeing on an interview where he was saying that's like this guy is like way more badass than Jack Reacher because. Well, then also, like, Jack Reacher doesn't like knives, and this man is, like, almost half exclusively knives. Just really fun stuff. Like, Henry Golding, like, playing Freddy Alvarez. Like, he's passing off as, like, basically like a Spanish dude. I was like, yeah, why not? Like, this will work. Really fun stuff. Like, everybody had their moments of, like, oh, this character's in a really tight spot. How are they going to get out of it? I think that added to the tension. Even the commanding officers, Ian Fleming and M, like they were stuck because the admirals are trying to maneuver around Churchill, but they're trying to keep it secret. But they have a mole in their midst with that one sergeant that sold him out, which is pretty messed up. But that whole scene was great too. When they found out they got ratted out, the guy's there.
You could go.
He's like, yeah, you
get out of
here too.
Yeah, and the guy looked at him just like, I'm sorry. And he's like, dude, get the hell out. Actual words where you can rightly F off. And it's fun having Carrie Elwes just say that. Again, very proper, and just to underscore the seriousness of the matter. And at the same time, Churchill's getting all these updates, and he's kind of freaking out. And there's one night where they're bombing London, and he's still in 10 Downing Street, just we need to know if this mission's a success or not. So it was cool. And again, now,
and they were just hoping that that they continued the work, even though they were told to stop. And we hope that.
We lost communication. So
we just hope that he doesn't take orders just like we thought he would.
You're ordered to stand down is what? What? You're gonna have to come in again. Or the part where they're going down, where they actually get caught by the British Navy. And they're like, oh, you're a Swedish vessel? Okay, say something in Swedish. And then Anders starts speaking. He's like, not you. March Phillips is like, oh, they knew it was him the whole time. And it's like, well, you got me. He's like, yeah, I just want to see you try. That guy was a dick.
But they made it out just by the
because a U-boat attacked at the same time. And they're like, yeah, goodbye.
Peace out.
That was a fun part too. Again, tension and haze.
That's kind of terrifying. Being in that little boat.
And they're just like,
during that part, knowing
exactly. The destroyer's like, wait, there's a U-boat here.
Did they stop it? They didn't really show what happened there. I know they threw out the
depth charges, and it blocked the torpedo, but then they got into a whole engagement. They're like, bye.
They just left.
They just left because what are they gonna do? Hey,
so
go
we
after
assume
them.
nothing happened because they were at the end of the movie. So.
Yeah. It was 2/3 in, but it was funny because they're like, hey, you're ordered by the admiral to stand down your mission and to return. You're like, yeah, no,
we'll be back.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, but don't worry, we're not even gonna do anything. It's pretty great.
I like the montage sequence when Asa Gonzalez sings, and it's her singing along with them preparing to steal the boats and getting everything ready, intercut with her singing, dancing, and then she screws up the lyric, and that's when this guy notices oh, she's Jewish.
Yep, she's a German Jew, which they did establish early in the movie, which is not it's not out of left field. Hey, that's not right. That was it, man. So that was scary.
Yeah, cool scene.
But what was great is her whole charming of lure was really good. It was pretty believable. She's like, oh, she's good at riddles. She's smart. She's funny. She's hot. Holy crap. And he's like, damn, no, but I'm not in it. And then they're like, we're going to a party. I'm not going to a party. We're going to a party.
Up.
She shows up as Cleopatra. Very, very great looking anyway. She's
dressed up as
Caesar. I need Caesar. He's like, I don't know, let's just stay here. I'm just no, I'm going to this party. He's just like, damn it. he just rolls up looking at Caesar. And
I like how at the towards the end when they get out and start fighting, he still has the cape.
Yeah.
Yeah, he walks around with the cape and just turns full on Nazi mode and executes the Spanish and the Italian guy, which is weird because he killed the Italian guy, which is technically an ally. So I'm like, buddy, I don't know how you could go ahead and justify that, but what was justified? Yeah, right. But what was justified was him not searching Marjorie because she got that 2-piece right to the face,
or to the forehead.
To the noggin. Which is great because Heron also showed up. He's like, no, I got her. And then he went back and he went back for her, which was dope because they got to close out, with their end of the mission too, and his whole organizing and orchestrating of everything went through perfectly. But we also got to talk about Cavill. It turns out him and March Phillips had a history, which is really cool. It's we went to Cambridge together, and you were on the rugby. Was it rugby team?
No, it was
rowing.
Croquet.
Cricket.
Oh, cricket.
Croquet.
Croquet.
Gemini croquet.
Yeah,
that's cricket. Oh, is it cricket? No, croquet. I thought it was cricket.
Yeah, no.
I think it's two different things.
No, croquet is
it's the big mallet and the thing with the ball.
Yeah, it's croquet.
Yeah, but
which one's the one that you play?
Cricket with the flat bat.
The flat bat.
Which one's the one you play on a horse?
That is
I thought he said
polo.
I thought he said croquet.
That's horse
No,
polo.
that's polo. No. This is
one.
Yes, that's croquet.
Was he really like a champion croquet player?
I thought it was croquet. Maybe it was cricket. It could have been cricket.
Rickety cricket.
Yeah, because
Rickety cricket.
Rickety cricket. Watch Sunny. It's great.
Is it cricket? I mean, yeah. Was it cricket? I don't know.
I don't remember.
I saw the movie like
one of those,
like a few hours ago, and I don't even remember now what it was.
Yeah. But anyway.
Crochet.
Yeah, he was
a champion crochet player. Yeah, but anyway, like it was just like really like just it was like fun. It wasn't not as I would say like super duper sophisticated, which I initially like thought it was gonna be, but it was just like it's just a romping good time. Honestly, that's what I kind of like felt the whole movie. Like it was a good time. Like. There was good tension. The score was actually a lot of fun. Like, it was kind of like fun little like Western-y, jazzy kind of thing going on. It was cool. Like, I feel like it just basically it meshed together. Like like it should have. Like it's about what you'd expect from this movie. I think, with a little less like, big reveal like some of Guy Ritchie's other movies, like The Gentleman or Snatch, or even like Wrath of Man had something like that too. But overall, like, yeah, it's a fun like watch, and especially for fans of if you want eye candy, I think it gives all parties the eye candy that they're looking for. If you're gonna talk about that, but for what it's worth, I thought it was just a general like a fun old good time at the movies.
Plus, if you're a big fan of World War II movies and historical tellings of a war.
Yeah, basically, like, it's like a, World War II movie for someone who doesn't want to get into all the crazy specifics of World War II. Yeah, but
and then
still pretty good.
X and I, we got to see it in a standard theater, and I think
me too.
Anthony too. And then Zach got to see it in Dolby, which that was probably pretty good audio wise.
Yeah, audio wise, it sounded great.
Were you in row G? Because I think that's what we've determined.
Yeah, that's like
the
best row.
The best row.
Oh no, it's at row E.
Oh, okay. So close.
A little closer.
That's a little closer, but that's still comfortable because you're in Dolby.
Oh yeah, and in the middle too. I got a middle seat.
Nice.
Oh, G was where we saw Mission Impossible, right?
Yeah,
and that's when we all were like, "There's sound?
an earthquake outside."
Yeah, it was like the seats were shaking and the sound was crazy. But yeah, how was the picture? Was the picture quality good?
Oh yeah,
that's usually
of course.
Dolby's usually the best.
Yeah, it looked great. I mean, I don't know what to compare it to. I haven't seen it in digital, but I'm assuming it's going to be way better. But the audio was definitely with all the explosions and the gunshots, the fighting, everything was really nice.
At least in our standard or regular.
It was a regular showing.
The audio was still pretty good.
Yeah.
Because I've gone to some regular showings where the audio is just so low or trashy, and I don't know. At least
that was our experience with I think Shang-Chi when that came out.
Oh yeah, it was like you could barely hear it, and like
it was very low.
I think I only watched that movie in Dolby.
Nice.
Surprisingly, the theater room that I saw it in, it had good sound.
Yeah.
So even though it was it had good sound.
Decent sized screen too. It wasn't like the really small screens. But
yeah. No, overall I'd say it's a fun time at the movies. Like, don't look for anything like too high or elevated. Like, you can just tell that everybody making the movie seems to have fun, like kind of like doing their jobs. I don't know, maybe not so much the stunt guys, because that looked like it was a lot of work. But it's sort of like Guy Ritchie getting to have some fun, getting his like Inglourious Bastards on to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this is spoilers for sure. Like, we already mentioned spoilers before, but like the very end of the movie, there's like there's a sort of a pseudo like epilogue for some people where they're like, yeah, like so and so got to go off in this, and so this happened. So the real life Gus March Phillips died 8 months later.
Oof.
Actually, 8 months later, or was it Postmaster was in January of 1942. So the movie takes place in 41, 42. and he died 8 months later off the coast of France.
That's
against some mission. Yeah. Also, Anders Lassen died in 45. So they're just like, yeah, these guys went on. They did get awards for like their mission they did, but it was more just like, hey, I'm gonna keep going and try it out. And he died. Oh wow, he's actually Gus March Phillips is actually buried in Normandy. So nice. That's interesting. Yeah, because anyway.
And then towards the end of the movie, when they're in the is it jail? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. They come back home and they're like, "Cool, you're back. Go to jail. Right to jail. Like, do not pass go.
Straight to jail.
Do not collect $200. Right to jail."
Then they had that moment in the movie where they say the actual title of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Have a Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Oh, he said it. He said the thing.
I can't do the whistle. It's I have stuff anyway. Like Churchill shows up, they give him a whole like fancy dinner. Thank you for your service. Hey, we now have the support of the Americans because the U-boat's been disrupted. The Americans are getting supplies, and at that point, the Americans are also in the war, so they're looking to do what they can to try to get U.S. troops, into the fight in Europe, because at that point it wasn't going so hot in the Pacific. But whole lot of fun. I liked it. What did you think, Zach?
Yeah, really, really solid movie. This is now like my fifth maybe Guy Ritchie movie, maybe sixth Guy Ritchie movie.
So he's terrible.
Yeah, so he's still bad. He's like,
wait,
so what have you seen?
Yeah, that's right.
You've seen Aladdin.
Aladdin, Snatch.
The two Sherlock Holmes.
The two Sherlock Holmes.
And then this one.
And now this one?
And this one, and then I feel like there might be something else.
So you're 4
Did you watch
out
The
of 5.
Gentleman on Netflix?
So now you went up to 80%.
I'm trying to
Let me
think.
see if there's anything I might have seen.
Homie, you're going to have to pull up. Okay. As you look
Did you
up...
see King Arthur?
No.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, so it was those 5, because when we did the last episode last week, you said you only saw 4.
No, definitely 5.
Yeah,
and you were 3 out of 4, so you're 75%.
So Aladdin's the only one.
Because there's some other ones like The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which I wanted to see, never saw.
You need to watch Man
that
from
was a good
U.N.C.L.E.
one.
I like that one a lot.
Did you see Wrath of Man?
No.
That one's
was
more
good too.
way more serious. It's still good, but you definitely need to watch Man from U.N.C.L.E. I think Man from U.N.C.L.E. is like one of his better movies.
So the only one you don't like is just Aladdin.
Oh, yeah, it appears to be.
Yeah, which is
pretty good.
Actually, I like that one. But anyway, you need to watch The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
But yeah, I also agree with Zach. This was a solid movie. I enjoyed it a lot. Very funny. Great action sequences.
Yeah, it was just good, delightful time. Anthony?
Sort of the same. It's pretty good movie. Wasn't like amazing. Obviously, we just saw Snatch last week. I think Snatch is a lot better. But if you want to compare it, obviously it has a lot of comparisons to Inglourious Bastards. So you can't help but compare those two. And I think Inglourious Bastards is amazing. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of hard to not, compare those two directly and say like, oh, this is up to par with that or better. So I kind of look at it as like, it's slightly inferior version of that. So if I think that movie's like a 9 or a 10, then, I got to drop it down a little bit. I'd probably give this movie like a 7, 7.5. Yeah. A strong one, though, not a soft one.
No, yeah. I got a 7.
Strong 7.
7 out of 10. Bow and arrow kills by Anders. I don't know how to rate this.
But yeah. It's fun. It's entertaining.
It's
fun. Definitely a movie I think that should be seen in the theater.
7 out of 10 stolen cigars.
Good acting, good filmmaking. Talked about the score. Yeah, it's like an overall well done, good movie. It's like very straightforward. It's not confusing at all. It's just like a good time at the movies. So if you like that, go watch it.
I agree. Yeah, sometimes you just need that.
Like it's rated R, but it's not too violent, and there's barely any cursing. So if like
I think it's just more like the blood and like some of
the thing is just not even that much blood. It's more like it's violent. Like there's violence and some blood, but not much blood. Like they could have almost gone away. They could have gone away. It could have been on a PG-13 if they removed the blood and not used more than one F-bomb. And it would have been a PG-13 movie. Like,
also, there's a lot of like, there's just a lot of gratuitous headshots. I think that's enough for just like,
you can do a headshot, just not show blood, and it's PG-13. Like, it's weird like that the ratings are like that, but you can get away with a lot with PG-13. So yeah, it's not too bad. Like, if you think, oh, I don't want to see it because it's rated R, like there's way worse World War II movies. Inglourious Basterds is more violent than this movie. So.
But probably, yeah, it's more violent, but not as violent as what's this movie, Hacksaw Ridge? Yeah, I think Hacksaw.
No, it's nowhere like it's
Hacksaw Ridge.
This is more of like it's weird to say, but it's more of like a entertaining type World War II movie, because it's like the whole movie, these guys are just walking and plowing down Nazis. Like they barely get hurt throughout the movie. Like, it's
making jokes and
right,
like, having a fun
time.
So
it's not like a super serious like, oh, you got to see everyone damaged or shot and killed to make it look real. It's like, it's not that realistic when everybody's Superman, even though Superman's in it.
Yeah. Superman and Aquaman in it. Freaking hilarious.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Oh my god. I was trying to remember.
Can't look at it, but
there's some like older project he was in where he was super young.
Yeah. It was Smallville.
It was Smallville.
It's also Blue Mountain State, but that's also a lot of fun. You should watch.
And he was in Fast 10.
And he was on American Idol.
He was actually on American Idol. Dude can sing.
He's always singing on Instagram.
Fun fact, I did go on record when we talked about Fast 10, your seatbelts for this one, but I did say that Alan Ritchson was one of the better parts of Fast 10.
Yeah.
Given like what the material he was given. So who knows? I'm excited to see him in the second one. But yeah, with that, everybody, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me and speaking about the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. We're glad to hear that it's just a solid, fun time. You don't get your hopes up too high with anything too over the top. But as everyone else listens and takes part in this. Again, we went on a little bit of a Guy Ritchie trip here, so if there's anything else that you may want to, again, recommend, or other things you're looking forward to when it comes to this movie, or if you just want the eye candy of Henry Cavill, Alan Ritchson, and everyone else in the cast, I don't know, they're all respectively hot.
Go watch, keep watching Guy Ritchie movies, and there might be 2 more coming out this year. Who knows?
Yeah, secretly surprise.
And then don't forget, last week we did Snatch. So if you want to watch that one,
The Gentleman Netflix show.
The Gentleman Netflix show is extremely good. Like, it's probably it's as good. It's probably better than the movie. Yeah, I'll say that. I'll go on record. There's more stuff on it.
He's on record.
Good. I am on record. I'll say I liked it better than the movie. All right. Tune in till next time, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, interact with us on all of our social media platforms. Also, comment on all our YouTube and Spotify and whatever podcast platform of your choice. We look forward to that. And until next time, catch you at the movies.
Later.
Cheerio.
Bye.